I'm Ernie Harris, and this is Courtside. I'm joined with head coach John Walker for the Rhea County High School boys basketball team. Courtside is proudly sponsored by First Bank. Community banking gives you the win. The local team that cheers you on. Local bankers who know your name and celebrate you on all life's big wins. To experience the First Bank difference, visit 1525 Market Street in downtown Dayton or call 423-775-1522. First Bank, member FDIC. Well, Coach, once again, I appreciate you joining us today.
Well, thank you guys for having us.
Thank you. This is going to be our season finale episode since the season concluded Friday night, February 19th, excuse me. Coach, you guys went to Cookeville High School, play the Cavaliers in the opening / quarterfinal round of the District 6 AAA tournament. They won 64-56, but what a game, Coach, right?
Yeah, and what a weird week, too. I mean, snow, cancellations, moving game times, and ended up playing early on Friday afternoon to try to get it in before any more ice or anything came in. And I was unbelievably proud of our kids that they just continue to fight, and up 12 at halftime, up 12 or 14 in the third quarter at one point.
Right. You jumped out first quarter, I think you were up 20-14. Second quarter, I think you won the quarter 11-5. So like you said, you're up 12 at halftime, 31-19. Third quarter, they got hot. They hit, I think, 3 or 4 threes and scored 24 to y'all's 10.
Right.
They got hot.
And they have 2 really good freshmen, and Josh Hurd Jr., who's actually the coach's son. I think he hit 3 threes in the third quarter. They made some really good adjustments we were zoning them.
Okay.
And they did a really good job of they put a really good shooter in the corner, which was Hurd, and the kid on the box, and it was a tough cover for us.
Right. I do want to interject and rewind a little bit. You guys were originally scheduled to play Tuesday, but like you said, all the snow and cancellations. Third time's the charm. Friday they got the game in. They started at 3 Eastern on Friday, and it worked out well. You got the game in. It was beautiful weather that day.
Yeah.
Good for traveling.
And snow and ice everywhere in Crossville down into Cookeville, and it was one of those things like we weren't able to travel like Tuesday. They weren't able to play Wednesday, and it was just kind of back and forth. And lucky to get it in, obviously, because the district had to be done tonight. It has to be done tonight. The district championship game's tonight. So the region starting this weekend.
That's actually similar, almost deja vu to last year's district tournament at White County. Several cancellations due to weather. So a mirror image almost like. I do want to point out, Coach, 1 week prior to your district tournament game on Friday, you played Cookeville on the regular season finale. They played Cookeville. Didn't go well at all. Lost a lot more than 8. Cookeville was hot that night as well. Hit a lot of threes. I think, double-digit threes. But 1 week later, Coach, you're battling. You're in the game. You're down by 2 with a minute to go in the game. So talk about that transition, the motivation from the players on the team, perhaps.
Well, I think that just speaks volumes of what our kids' character is and their ability to compete. And they're obviously listening to their coaching staff to be able to do that. And we did some things differently, especially in game prep leading up to that. Like, we were supposed to play Tuesday, so we got 2 or 3 days of extra practice.
That's true. It's a good
and
point.
It was actually very advantageous to us. We played a lot of zone on Friday night, which we hadn't done to them. We really guarded the 3-point line well, and like you said, they hit double-digit threes in both matchups prior. I think they hit 11 in the first matchup, and then 10 or 12 in this past matchup, or in the Friday night's matchup. And then we were able to guard that 3-point line and really kind of take them out of some stuff they like to do.
That's a good point. And also, your top 3 scorers pretty much this whole season, Kayla Martin, Keaton Ray, and Bryce Dupree, all scored 15 points apiece, Coach. How about that?
Well, pretty balanced scoring. I think we had another kid get 6.
Yes.
And if we kind of knew going in we had to be in the 60s to be in that zone where we could beat them.
Right.
And unfortunately, we didn't get there, but we were well on our way. I think we were at 32 at halftime, and I think that that's just a testament to kids playing together. Nobody's taking, bad shots, and kids are moving the basketball and connecting each other.
Very nice. Gavin Roddy had 6, Amari Roddy had 3, and Cade Vincent rounded out the scoring with 2 points. It was balanced scoring, especially we were top 3 scorers.
Yeah, and 2 of those guys freshmen.
Yes.
And Keaton scored a lot for us in a couple different games this year.
Right.
I think he had 26 and 24 against Stone early in the year. And,
yes.
We really emphasized throwing the ball to the short corner and throwing it to the high post against their zone.
Right.
And then when they were in man, we really were trying to handle pressure, and Keaton did a great job attacking that and making plays for us.
Going forward, season wrap up, highlights of the season, Coach, as far as where to go from here. It's your first year. It's his first year at the helm after taking over back in the summer, I believe. Right. How's it look for the future as far as all those young players, especially getting playing time?
I think we got a lot of valuable experience this year with some young guys, and I think we had 5 freshmen dressing on our varsity.
Right.
We had 1 freshman that was hurt all year who was with us multiple practices and travel and things like that. And we got 3 juniors that are going to be seniors next year coming back that are just competitive guys, and they're going to be able to set the tone very well for those younger kids. And we feel like we have some talent, and that we're going to be looking to turn the corner in the next year or 2 here. And then we got a crop of 8th graders coming in that we're excited about also.
Very nice. Last time we visited, we spoke with the 4 seniors you have, Mari Roddy, Cooper Ruling, Cade Vincent, and Keaton Ray. You are losing only 4 seniors. That's, in the grand scheme of things, I think you dressed 13?
Yeah.
12 or 13. Yeah. So, a quarter of your team, or a third of your team. But like you said, your top two scorers were freshmen.
Right.
So the younger guys getting those experience, it's going to pay dividends.
Right. And, those 4 seniors are going to be hard to replace as far as competitiveness goes.
Right.
They are guys that play multiple sports that we've highlighted in the past shows, I know, and just guys that, they like getting out there and playing.
Right.
So that's going to be, there's going to have to be some leadership, in the idea of, hey, we got to step up our intensity and things like that from the younger guys. But yeah, we're excited about what we're going to build and what we're doing, and it's been a fun process with these kids, getting to know them and building that relationship.
Very nice. Now, looking ahead, we're exiting the current district. In the fall, basketball is actually moving along with, I think, baseball and softball to 4 classifications.
Right.
Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
And going back to a new district, actually old familiar teams, which include Bradley Central, Cleveland, Walker Valley, Ottawa, McMinn, and then they're throwing in Howard. So Howard's never been in our district, so that'll be a new addition. But how do you feel about the switch back, Coach?
Well, we're in District 6 AAA currently, and this is going to be District 5 AAA or 5 Quad A now.
Quad A.
Going into it, and the old District 6 AAA is pretty much blown up, and then you have Warren County staying, which will be part of our region on the other side.
Right.
But those are traditional basketball strong schools.
Yeah.
And we'll have to match that as far as our intensity and our preparation and our skill work that we put in.
Right.
But it's the travel is going to be much better. We've talked about that a lot.
Yes.
We're not going to have to get home at midnight some nights or later. But they decided that would be the best place to put us, and that's what we're going to go with.
That works. Essentially those Tuesday games this past season, away games, you're starting at 8:30 Eastern because it's 7:30 Central, which is their normal time to start. So hour behind plus over an hour.
An hour and a half to travel. Yeah.
Every team in the current district is on the Central Time Zone,
right.
And at least an hour away. So.
Yeah, and we'll miss the relationships we have with those coaches and those guys, and they always have good crowds, and most of these schools we're going to are going to have good crowds too. So be good environments for us.
I agree. Any more thoughts on the 2020-2021 season, Coach?
Just incredibly proud of our kids and how they competed. I mean, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 games that we're within 5 points, 6 points, and leading at halftime a lot of times. And that's something going forward. We're going to have to learn how to win in that aspect and finish out games. And like we said, replace those seniors with their competitiveness and their ability to prepare. But we're excited going forward and what we can build here.
Well, good deal. That sounds good to me. And I appreciate you once again for joining us this season, and we look forward to a nice relationship going forward.
Absolutely.
Next season.
We appreciate you guys highlighting our kids and getting the word out on them, and First Bank for sponsoring it.
Well, very nice. Glad to do it. Coming up after our brief message from our sponsor, First Bank, we will be joined by Lady Eagle head coach Tracy Vest.
Community makes us stronger together. How strong? Together, we can lift our whole community, pull our entire town through, break down walls, pave a way for change, even move mountains. Get the strong advantage of a community bank. At First Bank, giving back carries a lot of weight. No wonder local banking gives you more pull. First Bank, community strong.
And we're now joined with Lady Eagle head coach Tracy Vest. Once again, thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. This will be our, as we mentioned earlier with Coach Walker, our season finale wrap-up show. So thanks again for being a good sport this season and joining us on Courtside. Coach, you went to Warren County Friday night, playing the first round of the District 6 AAA tournament. It was a satellite game. That's the way they were doing it this year. So traveled Friday, February 19th. Didn't go exactly as planned, but the Lady Pioneers of Warren County won 63-29. Emily McClure was your top scorer with 10 points. Let's talk a little bit about the game, how it went, or maybe some high points, some positives we could take away from the game.
We went into the game to trying to handle their press a little bit better than we had the first 2 times, and we did a lot better job of handling the press, but like we get in half court, we know we had problems scoring.
Right.
And you mentioned Emily's name. Emily was one of the bright spots that we had, and luckily her night fell short, but I thought all in all the first half we played a lot better than we have.
Okay.
We just couldn't put the ball in the basket.
Right.
And the second half, we come out and played a lot of young kids. We got a lot of experience that way. So, but all in all, I think we played better. We played harder. And we played for a little sense of urgency a little bit. Okay. And so it was just trying for young kids to step up and play.
Right. First quarter, they took the lead 16-8. I believe Emily McClure dropped in, I want to say 5 of those points. Ava Travis scored in the first quarter for you. So 16-8, Lady Pioneers were up, and then they went up 32-14 at half. Right. So, pretty close as far as the previous 2 meetings with Warren County, as far as you close the gap.
Right.
So you may gain some ground, perhaps?
I think we did. I think we done a better job, like I say, of handling the press. I think our half-court defense was a little bit better. We got out on the shooters a little bit better. We didn't want to turn the ball over and give them easy baskets. We wanted to make them work a little bit. Rebounded, we ran a little bit better. But then again, we only scored 6 points in the second quarter, so it kind of put us behind the 8 ball. We couldn't put the ball in the basket. We wasn't getting our offensive sets, but the good thing about it is they just kept playing hard. They didn't quit.
Right.
So
that's very commendable, and it showed. It was also a physical game for the Lady Eagles. They had 4 or 5 players get knocked out of the game due to injury. Only 1 or 2 came back, Coach. Right. It was very physical. Your lone senior didn't even make the game. It kind of, to me, and I've told people outside of the realm of Rhea County basketball when I'm discussing this game, it kind of summed up the season. It's been a very tough season for you all. Injuries, quarantines, and so forth, plus your 4-week layoff. I mean, it just Friday night with the injuries, I just thought to myself, that sums up the season.
Right.
But the high point and the positive, like you just already touched on, some of your younger players gained a lot of experience this year.
Right.
So going forward, you think that'll definitely pay some dividends?
I definitely. We had 3 freshmen that we wouldn't count on playing varsity, but they had to step in at times.
Right.
And some of the sophomores, same thing.
Right.
But I think we've got 15 players coming back that got some varsity experience.
Yep.
So that's going to help for next year to see what exactly they expect. And of course, we've got a tough district, good teams, and they had to play against good competition. Right. So you got to have a good mindset and a good attitude to get better when you do play teams like that.
Right. Like I pointed out in the last show with Coach Walker and his 4 seniors, Ray County is in the district with one Mr. Basketball finalist, a guy from Warren County that actually won Class 6A football, and there's a Miss Basketball finalist at Stone Memorial, I believe, Tessa Miller. So great athletes, great competition. You guys played against this year all season. And then, like you said, we're transitioning this fall, going forward, new district. They're opening up the districts, as we discussed with Coach Walker earlier, 4 classifications, and coming back over the mountain, back to familiar territory. It's your 2nd year, but you've seen 4 or 5 of these teams already: Bradley Central, Howard, Cleveland, Walker Valley, Ooltewah, McMinn County. So those will be Ray County's district next year.
Right.
Any thoughts on being closer to home, less travel time, and so forth?
Well, I mean, it's not going to get any easier.
Right.
But like I say, it's going to be in the same time zone.
Right.
But they got Bradley, who put us out last year. We had a really good team last year, and of course we played Cleveland, McMinn, Ooltewah, Walker Valley. So teams that we've seen last year, and we noticed a little bit about them. So it's still going to be tough, but it's not going to be the travel as far. So district's still going to be just as tough, but then again, it's closer to home.
Very nice. Yeah, it's even for me traveling to cover the games. Like you said, Bradley Central, you met in the semifinal round of the region tournament last year at White County. You only lost by 7. Cleveland, you beat here on Ray County's home court in the opening round of the region tournament last year, the quarterfinal round. Got to host, and then Walker Valley beat in the regular season. Ooltewah, you beat in McMinn County. I want to say Mallory Hampton had 38 at McMinn last year.
She did.
36 or 38. So I knew it was a high game for her. But yeah, familiar teams and closer travel time.
Right.
So going forward, your team, younger players, what are you telling them right now as far as looking ahead?
Well, right now we got to not be satisfied with the season that we had.
Okay.
And we have got to just go to work, get back in the gym and reteach some of the fundamental stuff that goes along with basketball. I think we didn't get to do that last year. We didn't get to do anything from middle of March to August.
Right.
So, and then again, you're relying on them to do things on their own, and what can you do on your own? When it's pandemic and you have to stay at home. So
that's true.
But we're going to take a few weeks off, and then we're going to come in and go back to work. That's all we can do, and hopefully, like we said after the ball game, we don't want to go through another season like this, and the only way we can do is just put our hard hat on and go to work.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good philosophy and good attitude to have. Also, I want to jump back to the game Friday night. Scoring for Ray County: McClure, like we touched on, Emily had 10, Ava Travis had 5, Emma Reeves 4 points. Emma Gentry 4. Jayla Goins came in and had a couple of free throws for you, Coach.
Right.
Emma Gentry went out of the game, got injured briefly. Brought in a player to replace her to shoot the free throws. Goins. How that? I mean, good free throw shooter.
I don't even think she shot a free throw this year. She just another post player that we put in and just said, hey, just go out there and play. And she stepped up and made 2 free throws. And
it was very clutch on her part.
It was. Just very proud of her.
Yeah, very nice. And Hayla Patton had 3. She had a 3-pointer, I think.
Right.
But any other thoughts on the season that we haven't shared already that you can think of?
No. Before Christmas, I thought we were going to be a competitive team. Right. I thought we were, we was going to get there sooner or later, but things just didn't work out, and you just got to take it and go on. We did. A lot of young kids got to play, so we just got to get back to winning basketball. And I think this group will work hard next year because they've seen what they had to go through this year. Right. And a lot of teams that we've played our district were senior-laden teams. Yes. And like the ones you just said, all of them are sophomores or freshmen besides Emma, which is a junior. Right. So we're excited about next year, and I think we got some young kids coming from middle schools that can help us. Right. It's just going to be getting in the gym and going to work and trying to get better for next year.
Like you said, they played hard, Warren County, but in my opinion, if it matters, no matter what the score was all season, and it didn't work out a lot of games. They played hard, right, Coach. They never stopped. They left it on the floor, right, and it showed. Right. I mean, they kept their same demeanor, same attitude. So I mean, that's got to say something.
That's got to give credit to them. Right. It was difficult, but like I say, we tell them, don't look at the scoreboard, just go play. Play hard. You can always play hard. You can always represent your school, yourself, and your team. Yeah. And for the most part, we done that. A lot of times we hung our head, but for the most part, they just kept plugging and trying to get better throughout the season.
That's very good. That's all you can do, I guess. Right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. And once again, thanks for joining us this season.
Thank you.
On Courtside. I want to thank the fans for watching and following along with us on Courtside. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news, sports, and community updates, follow the Herald News on our social media pages. Thank you to our sponsor, First Bank, for your support of Courtside and our community. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. I'm Ernie Harris. This was Courtside.